first.
Prize for this.
Prize for that, right?
Group 3 get extra points. Yeah.
I want to jump in the other room and tease them. Can I? Oh no, Ben is
Yeah,
here.
of course you can. Yeah.
You guys talking crap about me?
No, we just say that we're the first group to come back, and we were bragging about it. Might be the only thing we can brag about today. So.
Room 2 were hating on me.
They were hating on you. That's Jonathan's group.
Ah, yeah, I was gonna say.
Start deducting points if they don't come back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's gonna hate that even more.
Here they come.
I just went to see them.
What, do they have to like clean the LLP Slack bathrooms for like the next month?
Yeah. So basically, when they come back, we'll take it group at a time. They will introduce their lesson plan. So if you'd like to decide if you need like a group leader or a representative to do the talk or something. And I know Christine's pushed for time, so if you need to go anytime, please let us know. It's not a problem. You've done the hard work, so.
Oh, I've got till half an hour.
Okay, yeah, should be fine. We'll be finished by then.
I think.
I'm guessing, Fabio, when you went into room 2, Jonathan told you to fuck off.
No, I was so fast. I was just jumping, and then I switched back to the jump because I was up.
Okay. Here they come.
Here we go.
So I make that 3,000 points reduced from.
We'll make it back. Don't worry.
Woo! The confidence, I love it. All right. So I'm really sorry that I was poking in the rooms and annoying you all.
No, you're not.
Nah, it was great. I was the most valuable member of all of your teams. What are you talking about?
I look forward to the documentary film.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is, using the document, I'm sure you're all on it, we are going to have Group 1 talk us through their plan, and then Group 2, and then Group 3. Let's set 5 minutes for the talk. So each talk, no more than 5 minutes. So Group 1, would you like to tell us about your plan? Starting now.
I'm not good with time limits, so one of you are gonna have to do this.
It's
I'm
okay.
just gonna keep talking about nothing.
I got my clock running.
All right, Casey or Christine, you guys want to do this? Because I'm bad with time limits.
You're already 15 seconds in, so.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Too much pressure.
So, our idea was to basically have our students make a game. Let's see. And this might be in a group of university students, first year university, younger age, like 18 to 20-ish. And basically, conceptualize, create, and play test a new simple board game. Hopefully it would be fun. We would work in ideas of like collaboration and working in small groups and reacting to like the play testing process. It's basically lots of repeating with the play testing. We'd want the students, each group would probably, ideally, get maybe another group of students, younger students, to play test the game or play the game. Maybe like a local high school or something like that, right? Let's see. Real life rewards for achieve. Oh, yeah. And maybe also once you get to a certain level of the not level, sorry. Once you get to a certain step in making the game, you could have also real life awards for achieving things within the game. Let's see. For the language, let's see. You could model language based on the rules that come with games, or language that you could find in the components of games. Ideally, probably start with super simple stuff, assuming that the students are starting off with like zero knowledge of games. And that's also something you'd have to teach them, is give them a maybe a brief lecture or examples of games, which we've included in our lesson plan, FYI. Let's working our way through this. Okay, so yeah, model the language, give them simple instructions to learn from, language that would show the process of, the process of playing the game, the process, like what you have to do to win, and stuff like that. Modeling. Okay, probably this would be maybe based from either like a published game that you might find on BGG, like off the shelf, would probably be the most easiest thing to grab. But it could be anything, something self-published. Anything could, that you could get your mitts on. Even if the teacher has made a game previously, that would be something that you could use as well. Where are we at time-wise, James?
You got 2 minutes left.
Got it.
2 minutes
Okay,
from
cool.
now.
Thanks. I just looked up. So we might watch a video or movie about some topic. Christine mentioned that she'd done something similar to this with like Ready Player One, and then playtest, like wrap the game around the video that you watched, and use those in collaboration with each other. We also maybe tried to use James' idea of like net slang, like examining like what language pops up repeatedly and learning from that. Okay, goals, intangible goals, collaboration between the students, social skills, interpersonal skills, project management, being able to communicate rules and gameplay accurately and concisely. Tangible goals, basically making a playable version of a game and the enjoyment that comes with that. Okay. So our schedule, let's see, what else did we say here?
I think the weekly schedule is probably,
You have 1 minute
okay.
left.
So basically the first couple of weeks would just be building a foundation, introducing board games and what games are like. Again, you might also assign homework to get them to look up stuff online, so it's not just all in class. And then also, once you build up their background knowledge for what games are and what they can do, start looking at the language. The next couple of weeks would be about planning. This would be the actual creation of the board game. Maybe make like a game business plan. I was thinking like somewhere along the lines of like what I've seen James and Jonathan use, where you just give them like a question list that's like a checklist, and they work through that. And once all those elements are in their game, they should be good to go as long as the teacher's done their job well, I think. So yeah, you're basically making like a rough outline. You can maybe share that through Google Docs. Again, it could be homework, it could be in-class stuff. Let's see, week 4. Oh, sorry, that was weeks 3 and 4. Then in weeks 5, maybe that's when you'd actually make the game. After you get the game, you would play test it and just keep play testing.
I think that's time.
Okay, cool. Yep.
And then after that, week 6 through all the way to the final week, that's just play testing. And then the final week, they would give the new board game to a student who's never seen it. And they would see if the student who's never seen it could play the game just by looking at the rules that the students created.
Thanks, Ben.
Pow!
Cool.
That's efficiency.
So it's learning
We
language.
didn't lose any points for being late, so.
Yeah, so it's learning language through board game development, essentially, right?
Pretty much.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. Moving on to team number 2, Jonadatia.
Do you want me to just start it off, John?
Nothing?
Oh, go for it, Adam. Just do the whole
All
thing.
right, 5 minutes
5
starting
minutes.
now.
Wait. Please make sure everyone, you're on the document. Jump down to 4.2. Team blah blah blah. Lesson plan. Ready, go.
Okay.
5 minutes.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, John, myself, and Tia, we came together to talk about a really great ESL, EAL, really awesome game-based language teaching plan here. And with my school, I'm sure with a lot of you guys as well, we like to go from week to week with concepts. And this week, we're going to talk about spreading. So our ludic part is a board game and a digital game. Our language, we talked about EAL, ESL. We're going to look at a little bit of world issues as well. And our pedagogy is a lot about co-creation, but we're also informed by the 5E framework, Mark Rasmussen's 3E framework. I was going to say James and Vaporwave, but since he was so annoying through that whole process, I'm going to strike through that and maybe say like Carl Honore instead. Sort of someone else who's talking about slow, so there you go. So the class, university level class, number of students, about 10. My dream, my reality is about 25. We have groups of 3 or 4. Each group has a copy of the games, ideally. The proficiencies are on intermediate, and the tech we need is screen and projector. So any of you who know like Zach Hartzman and how he does his classes on a screen projector in front of his class, gets one student at a time to try it out. That's kind of the model idea we're looking at. The time of it is 1 week, 4 classes, and 3 hours per class. Now, what is this all about? Very simple. They have a preamble. They knew it to check out some YouTube videos. Again, something that both James and Jonathan do quite often with their classes. Have a hook, of course, engage them with a really great question, get them to play the game, discuss the game. By the way, we have all the times on the side here. So I know teachers like to follow the times. I love making sure my class is on schedule. And then, of course, the most important part, having a great reflection and debrief that exists of students engaging in group discussions, also class-wide discussions on how this relates to them, making it emotionally, really contextually relevant to them. Second part, brainstorming aspects about change, the game and how it's conveyed in part 1. The multimodal output. So what are they going to make for their creation, their remixing? They'll be maybe choose their own adventure, do a role play scenario, maybe something digital. We talked about if the students are like super tech nerds from James's university, maybe they know how to use Unity or something like that. But the idea is to make it pretty small. The small, easy to make thing that they can plan. They'll be extending this in their homework. So again, following that Mark Rasmussen 3 model. And then the next day, if you go back to day 2 or class 2 at the top, they've got their game all drafted out. They've talked about it. They're going to modify it into maybe a different genre, maybe from, and by the way, the first class we're looking at Pandemic, the tabletop game. Forgot to mention that. And maybe they'll modify a different genre, maybe role-playing, maybe choose your own adventure. They'll spend the next bit just doing a little bit basic preparation. Might be a bit longer. We'll see how the students want. And of course, being good teachers, we want to make sure that we're following along with our students and catering to their every women need. Then they'll have a nice little play test. And like I said, I might modify the time, or we might modify the time of this at some point, followed by a teacher-led discussion. Because of course, we want to make sure, and our administration wants to make sure that we are teaching that target language that they were supposed to learn over the week, and then maybe do some possible extensions, followed by peer discussion. So again, really drawing heavily from what James and Jonathan do. So what worked, what didn't work, what was fun, what were the things maybe they personally learned from this? This is more from my own context. Comparing things they did on day 1, what, like the official Pandemic game and the game they made. What was the difference of it? Maybe they could do some deep analyses of these. And this leads into day 3, which is basically a very similar thing here, except for the next one, we're actually going to be looking at the other thing. We were doing Black Lives Matter. We changed to how an idea spreads in society. So we're going from virus spreading to idea spreading. So spreading is really the main focus, and that helps students really stay on topic with this, which is really useful.
1 minute.
And yeah, but the same thing here. Yes, I have a timer, James. Thank you. So with all of this, it's pretty much the same kind of thing. It's a really solid plan that teachers can follow easily. And Jonathan had some really cool stuff to add at the end here. Jonathan, you want to talk about that in the last minute here?
Just
with Nicholson?
Yeah. So yeah, we want to make sure that students are taking what they did in the class and applying it outside of class. So we looked at just debriefing again, and Scott Nicholson has a nice paper on extending the experience where he asks students to think about their life outside of school, like what we did be useful, who else would find it useful, like audience, and what will you actually do with it? And there's a bunch of practical things in the comments from his paper. And then really opening up to make it open-ended for students to apply it, maybe by writing a letter, by putting it on Instagram, playing it with a friend to make sure that they're transferring it. Thanks.
All right, that's 5 minutes. Thank you, everyone. No, nice job to everyone. That was great teamwork.
Team.
We win.
Thanks, Adam. I loved how Adam seeded his whole talk with like really great, really awesome. You know, yeah, that's how you win.
Just an honest.
Thanks, guys. So in sum, that was looking at. No, I won't even try and sum it because that would do a disservice. Yeah, that was a great talk. Thanks. Next, we're going to move on to group number 3. They are the serial killers. So jump down to the doc. We're currently looking at page 14 for the serial killers, and I will.
Serial killers.
I'll let you get going for 5 minutes. Are you ready?
Do you mind if I go for just the introduction and the pre-task, and somebody take over for the task and the rest? Are you cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we got Fabio
Alright.
going on with the pre-task. All right. Here we go. Ready? Start.
Okay, guys, serial killer years. Please notice that we are the only group who actually wrote tweet format and a teaching tip on the bottom. That must mean more points. So we actually, as our name suggests, we went full meta here, and actually started thinking about how to teach teachers how to analyze data gathered through game-based teaching. So we're actually teaching teachers in this lesson plan. And the name of our plan is giving analytical maneuverabilities, or if I misspelled that, to educators. The pedagogy point is teacher attitude. We focus on what the teacher should do in order to analyze the data. The big aspect is we're talking about gameplay data, and there is actually a bit of gameplay while we teach how to use the main software. And the language part is that we are gamifying data literacy, so language data in the first place. The lesson objectives, teacher will be able to use language data to analyze their learners' language learning gameplay data. And we created a draft lesson plan, which is a lesson plan cycle, actually. It's not one lesson. That has to be clear. And as a pre-task, we thought about teachers should learn how to use data analyzing software. Again, we are thinking about teachers who actually get their data during the language classes, and now they have this big chunk of data, and we are teaching them how to use that data in order to improve the game-based classrooms. The first step will be teachers will analyze a pre-made database. We thought about gamifying that. As a goal, we have to learn how to use the program, which is the program name, you can see in the materials. It's AntConc, which is corpus analysis software, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you. So we teach the teacher how to load the files, how to generate word lists, how to generate keyword lists, and how to look at data from all the learners and from just one learner and the corpus. And we do that by playing a game. The game we thought about it can be applied to any kind of corpus. We give them fake data that belongs to a culprit. Maybe somebody sent a lot of letters to the president. They want to kill the president. And this language teacher will have to find the culprit by analyzing a lot of data, a lot of language data, finding commonalities in words, verbs, or mistakes. Doing that, the teacher will actually play a game. We're doing what it's called a pedagogical double-decker. I just learned this word. Thank you, Caroline. And through this gamified activity, they will learn how to use the corpus software. Go, Mark.
Okay, so after we've taught the teachers how to use AntConc software, we're then going to have them compete in a Family Feud style TV game show kind of game where they have to guess whether a word or collocation or something like that comes within a ranked list, say like a top 10 of the word list in the words that their learners have used. And we would extract this from their learner data. And this will be useful for the teachers because they can compare their preconceptions of how their students are learning language with actual analysis of the language that their learners are using to play the games. And so what the teachers may be using language that students are already actually quite okay with using, because they're using preconceived ideas of the language that they're having problems with, rather than what students are actually having problems with. We then jump onto a post task, and teachers then need to plan how to tackle the issues from the data analysis and like form focused activities for future lessons. And also they need to think about their preconceptions and actual language use and the discrepancies in how these align. C'est fini.
Caroline, do you want to add anything in the last couple?
I'll just refer to our tweet and our teaching tip. We tackled the idea of the fact that we know games can be used productively for foreign language learning, but as Adam himself said, there's very little receptivity to it. So how do we change that? We focus on teachers' attitudes. We focus on teachers' attitudes.
Brilliant. I love it. I love the teaching tip at the end there. Yeah, nice. Nice. Whew.
Class to class.
Yeah. All groups, amazing work. I don't think we can pick a winner. I think that these lesson plans needed to have time to breathe a little bit more. I feel like we rushed you through the presentation. But I'm astonished that you're able to make such great ideas in 45 minutes. I'm particularly impressed. I guess this can be my job then. My job will be to give some feedback as a non-player character. I think the group number 3 with their meta idea of teaching teachers how to teach with games was a very fitting talk, and it was very interesting. It was a gamified look at how to teach teachers to do GBL, so it was super meta. Lots of things in there, very interesting. For group number 2, that had Jonathan in it, so I can't really say too much about that group.
Winners. Oh, excuse me. It's somewhat of a lozenge.
I thought, yeah, for group number 2, your lesson framing, the pedagogy was really, really solid. Definitely, that for me, that was the most solid pedagogy. How it progressed from one stage to the next. Criticism, I guess, would be that I don't know if you could do this in 4 classes. I think you perhaps need to spread it out a lot more. But yeah, that's yeah, of course, right. But yeah, absolutely solid.
See, we would have listened to that if we hadn't strike through to you out.
For group number 1, I think your idea of using games to teach language and board game design and the iterative part of creating a game as a method of using language throughout is also super strong and interesting. Something that I've actually done in the university myself. You mentioned very briefly for group number 1. You mentioned very briefly here about net slang and sharing on Reddit, recording playtests and analyzing play videos. I don't think that's necessarily net slang, but yeah, and I think Jonathan has experience of this as well, is getting students to playtest games and put those playtest reports online. From my own perspective, I've had students create rule books for games that they've created and put them online so that English speakers can download the game, the print and play, and then play the game. What is this that someone's writing? Whatever. And then from Jonathan's perspective, he's actually had students play games, play print and play games, and post their feedback of their own play tests. Yeah, that's definitely something that can be done as a language learning activity. So yeah, that's very solid. In terms of the awards, I'm going to give... I'll decide the awards, shall I? For group number 3, I'm going to call this one GBLception. You get the GBLception award. I like that because it's very meta. For group number 2, you get the Get Off My Lawn award.
You left me alone.
For group number 1, let's have a look here. Group number 1, you get the funny picture at the end award. All of you guys, honestly, amazing job. I've been an idiot. Yeah, thanks. You can all rip into me now. Okay, I'll open the floor to general comments and discussion for the next 5 minutes.
I mean, group 3 was amazing, right?
No.
Shut up.
Your lesson plans 1 and 2 are not going to work unless you do 3.
Way.
Yeah.
The trump card.
I didn't expect.
Man.
Jonathan, would you like to add your comment as co-chair and participant in this? What were your expectations? Did it match it? Did it exceed it? What?
I just got my head down on my desk, to be honest, like with how amazing these are. Honestly, like I'm dumbstruck, to be honest, really. Like I just have come off of like 6 months of reading, games are amazing, we want to use these in the classroom, so we used this game and gave students a vocabulary test before and after, right? And so these three, like this is like whiplash, right? Like this is, what the hell? Why aren't people using stuff like this in the classroom, right?
What was group 1?
Institutional.
What was group 1's award, by the way? I'm just going to write them in here real quick.
Well, but that's the, like, to me, that I guess it's not really a comment on the lessons, but it would almost take another round to look at, different institutional constraints and connecting it to standards and practicality but I'm just dumbfounded.
I think
Like,
another
this is
big
amazing.
thing about this is that with all these lessons that we have here, kind of assessing it and it's not very straightforward in terms of assessment. I don't think, at least. Rather than if you just like give students like a few chapters from a textbook and just be like, read it, and then I'm going to give you some vocabulary tests. Like, I think that's the reason why a lot of people do get stuck up on more traditional methodologies, because it's just it's easier. It's easier to draw numbers out of it. While with game and play testing and learning about GBLT and all that stuff, I mean, it's just you can't give a grade as easily,
I think it's a great challenge, though, to try to figure out how. Like, I would love to try to annotate these lesson plans with, connections to standards, connections to curricular goals, connections to how do you assess this, that, and the other thing. Really connecting to Caro's work, right, on how do you change teachers' attitudes, right? And if they can see these sort of annotated lesson plans that are super creative, super... I'm just looking at all these comments. It's really funny how much people played. Like, this has got to shift somebody's attitude, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Got to think.
Yeah, it was seriously playful. Not stodgy at all, but not stodgy. Not not too stuck in the weeds, but also very serious. I think everyone put their heart and soul into these lesson plans, and it shows where people are coming from, what their backgrounds are. Everyone got a chance to demonstrate their abilities, their skills, their interest in LLP. I say LLP as in a term for game-based language teaching. So yeah, fantastic job, guys. You can definitely see like each person's characteristic in each of the lesson plans as well. So yeah, I'd love to see
if they had a bad experience in high school, Austrian.
I'd love to see what would happen with different couplings of these members. Like what would Carol and Ben and Christine make it, for example. It's just really interesting. Yeah,
Carol and I would just make like the absolute mind fuck. Like, you got to destroy the entire attitudes that we have and rebuild them from the ground up about the students and teachers.
Sure.
There you go. You make a social impact game to deprogram teachers. There you go.
Ooh, I like it.
There's sorry, go for it.
So I know I was just gonna say I think a big challenge with this is just finding a way to make like a more formal assessment like rubric for game based language teaching or LLP. You know, I think if you were to give it that kind of formal slant, I think it'll be more widely kind of embraced. But without that, a lot of people just think, you know, games equals playing equals doing nothing in class that I can immediately throw numbers out on for each student.
I'm going to push everybody's attention towards page. We're going to wrap up here in about 15 minutes. I want to end at 4:30 for us. I know everyone's had their earphones in or headphones on, been sitting in front of their computer for a while now, as these things tend to be. But in terms of wrapping this up in the next 15 minutes, I'd like to put your attention towards page 18 of this document. And just give us some feedback. Hey, I've been eating mince this whole time.
You know, I'm 10,000 kilometers away, man. This is unacceptable.
Oh, and regarding that, I think there's a comment here from Fabio which says everything could be a playground item here. The plan for a post-conference proceedings is for each team, if you are interested, if you look at the page 19 here. In page 19, the idea is that if you are interested, then we invite each group, actually. So we invite each group to submit their lesson plan, a tidied up, clean version of their lesson plan, as a playground item to be published in LLP.
What was that? That's the best reaction ever. What was that? Scoffing.
That was a great hair.
It was like, I knew it.
That was good.
I knew it.
Yeah. No. We want people to get credit, right? Like, give credit, take credit where credit's due. Like, these are amazing. Like Adam and Tia. Like, I think that we have a lot of ideas in that document, but I think that people realize that it's maybe not as practical as we'd hope. Like, we could take like the next, I don't know, like little while and try to, maybe make this a semester course, or maybe put in some more assessment or something. And I'd love to submit this as a playground with you two.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think we need some more time to sort of slow. I think it was a really cool like lesson jam. I think we need more time to sort of dig into the different practicalities of what we're proposing, right?
So yeah,
let's do it. Let's submit it.
Yeah, sorry, Jonathan, to butt in there. The idea. Well, I've been doing that all day. So what? The idea is that you'd work together on a shared Google document to tidy up this lesson plan and submit it through the LLP submission system. So that kind of is our way to say, hey, keep in touch with these amazing people and work together on, and you can publish something very quickly. So yeah, that's the whole LLP vibe, you know, friendly, community driven, and alternative indie. Of course, I know that you're all on the LLP Slack, so that's a good way to message each other. There's also Discord here where you can message each other. There really is no excuse to not be in touch, I don't think. But yeah, as a first,
these comments are amazing, James. Like, yeah, like look at the debriefing. Like, people are already putting in like what they thought. Seeing more next time, like more time to talk, more time. Like, Christine, surprise me. It's great. It's great.
More gaming sessions. We didn't get a chance to play Among Us, did we?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that we came up with, James and I was trying to figure out, was how do we organize something like this that as many people as possible can actually attend, right? Like, if people are getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, dear Lord, like, how, you know, because this absolutely could be an entire day-long conference or
Weekend.
a weekend in the mountains and in a cabin, like for sure, like this could absolutely just go and go and go and go. It's the whole LLP community in a nutshell. So do we do this regularly? Do we do this at a bigger event? Do we break it up so that it's like 3 hours and then the next step is another 3 hours and another step is another 3 hours? Who knows?
Slow it down.
Just give us feedback. Seriously, like this, everybody's part of this community and we can make what we want to do. So
Surprise me.
if anybody has a practical idea about how to improve this, let us know, because we're going to keep testing this, next one next weekend.
Could we like do something where it's kind of different, kind of like modes? So like kind of people in Asia time zones and stuff. It's kind of convenient for us, like based in North America, like, ridiculously difficult for us. And like Europe has like they're in between both, so like both are either equally convenient or inconvenient and stuff like that. So maybe having something based in kind of like the Americas kind of time zone, Asia time zones, and kind of Europe might work, and then kind of all kind of sort of mixing and melding together and things. Dancing on his keyboard.
Yes. It's like someone threw a spoon into a carburetor working with this.
I'll mute myself. Sorry, guys.
Here, I'll do the typing for you guys now.
I'm just kidding, Jonathan. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
We love your endearing typing.
I'm enthusiastic.
Yes, clearly.
Hey, yeah. That's I don't know how do we wrap this up, James? I mean, we just do it again. We start from the beginning and do it again, right?
Yeah, we're going to do this again very soon, I guess, in a different time zone, maybe early in the morning Japan time or something, so we get a particular slice of the LLP audience that we didn't get today.
Exactly.
You're all free to join next time.
It's just awesome to see people connecting, right? Like, like the mixer and then the workshop, seeing people mix and communicate is just amazing.
Definitely keep in touch with your team.
Right?
That's the next step. Stay in touch with your team. Write up that lesson plan as a nice, detailed document. Get it submitted, and you got another line on your resume. So proceedings will be you guys working together. Big love from me. And stay tuned on the LLP Slack for more of these days' events.
Oh, hey, one question, James and Jonathan. Because Fabio's going to be doing his interview for ICU soon, does this count as a presentation for him?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Write that stuff on your CV.
Oh, and if you'd like to chair this, if you'd like to be me or Jonathan chairing this, feel free to let us know. We don't want it to be the James and Jonathan show every time. If you want to have that line on your resume as well, I chaired LLP.
Au revoir tout le monde.
Sorry, Christine.
Yeah, Christine, go ahead.
Thank you, Ben. Well, I don't have a CD. I guess I'll write it on LinkedIn for now, but I will definitely mention it.
Yeah,
my first.
Like this is a conference. It's a conference presentation. It's submit the proceedings paper. We'll peer review, so the peer review goes on the CV. Like we wanna help everybody build their careers in a bunch of different ways. So if you've got an idea for something to add to this that would give you something for your CV or your experience, just let us know. We'll build it in, right?
Thanks. For now, I think I'll just mention it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
I just custom made a meme for today's proceedings.
Yeah.
Hey. Where's Jonathan's name on there?
Oh, I need to add Jonathan. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
I'm the broccoli.
I don't really get it, but since I'm the angry cat, I feel all right.
I'm the nutritional information on what that
Yes.
freezer lasagna.
Oh,
or whatever.
one thing you can do for the LLP community is to spread the name. You know, let people know that we're doing this kind of thing. Me and Jonathan are not very good at the socials, so yeah, just if you can help spread the word, that'll get people. You know, we're not looking for money or anything like that. We're just looking to educate people and you know, make the world a better place, man.
Not yet. 1 year from now, it's like LLP conference. Sign up $50.
Yeah.
Become a patron.
Hey, we're not Calico. Wait.
I think make the world a better place. Yeah.
You betcha. Christine, did you ask a question? We didn't hear.